Okay, so eBay did it again. That's right, they made another change, and this one is affecting thousands of sellers, millions of listings, and nobody, I guarantee you, nobody is happy about it except maybe the buyers, but sellers, they're not happy, and they think the sky is falling. And you know what, guys? I just looked at the sky, and I don't see anything falling. So let's talk about this and see why it's not as big a deal as you think it is. So what did eBay do? eBay has decided that trading cards and sports cards, non-sports cards, Pokemon cards, they all need a grade. That's right, they all need to be graded. I'm not paying for grading. Are you paying for grading? No, we're not. So what was the change? Basically now, if your card was ungraded, you used to be able to just say it's a used card. No problem there. But now, they want us to declare the condition of the card. That's right. They want us to grade our ungraded card. We now have to say, is it near mint, excellent, very good, and down. There's a problem with that. Card grading is very subjective. Very subjective. What I think is a near mint might not be what you think is a near mint. That's why all of these grading companies like PSA, BGS, they all came along so they can do the grading for us. Now me, I don't deal with the grading companies. I don't believe in them. For how much we consider grading to be subjective, and that's why these companies need to be there, is even with them, grading is purely subjective. You could send something into BGS, SCG, and PSA, and you know what? You can get 3 different grades. It's a subjective thing. So why is eBay making this change? They're saying it's for the buyer. And you know what? I get it. Buyers want to know what they are buying. They want to know what the condition is. If it's a sports card and I say it's used, I can send a picture and you might look at it and go, oh wow, that's a pretty good looking card. Then you get it in the mail and go, wow, that's not as good of a card as I thought it was. So they want to know what they're getting. Not every buyer can afford graded cards. So they buy ungraded. They want those cards to be in decent condition. So we now have to say, is it near mint? Excellent. And hopefully a buyer will be happy. Again, there's problems with that. But first, what does eBay consider these gradings? For near mint or better, the corners have to have minor chipping, edges minor chipping, no discoloration, no surface indentations, no creases, and it can have minor scratching. All right, not that bad. Pretty subjective though. Excellent condition, moderate to corner wear, multiple dinged corners, multiple, slightly roughed edges, moderate chipping and or light indentations, minor discoloration, moderate indentations. To me, excellent sounds like a pretty crappy card, doesn't it? Then you also have very good and poor condition. And honestly, when it comes to selling on eBay, if you were going to post a card and post it as very good or poor condition, and that card from the 80s to recent, then that's a pretty freaking crappy card that you should not be selling, point blank. Looking at eBay's ratings, even excellent might be a card you shouldn't be selling. It's a pretty damaged card from what I read. How long do we have to make these changes? These changes are available now. If you're making a new listing, you would put that in. If you're using an API service like a Kronos or a Car Dealer Pro, you have till October for, the API program to start uploading that. I use Car Dealer Pro. That feature is currently not available to say what the grading is, but I'm sure that's going to come in time. And any existing listing, you have till January of 24. So guys, they're giving us time to make these adjustments. Personally, I would make them sooner rather than later, because we all know eBay. They make changes. If you don't make them, you have a chance to have your listings suppressed and not seen by the buyer. And if you think about it, if that's there, it's probably now in the filter section. So if somebody's filtering by near mint, your cards aren't going to get seen. So that's something you might want to do. The reason behind all this, though, again, is the buyer and what the buyer wants. That's what eBay's saying. And you know what? I believe eBay for that. But the buyer is also the problem of why so many of you sellers are freaking out. Why? You're worried about that one bad buyer. The one who's going to contact you and say, you said this card was near mint. To me, it's excellent. That's the problem with the subjectivity of condition and grading. I'm here to tell you, that's something you shouldn't be worrying about. You shouldn't. But one thing we have to do as eBay sellers, is stop living in fear. Stop living and worrying about that one bad buyer, that second bad buyer. Worry about the 40 to 50 other sales you got that you have actually no issues with. No issues with those buyers, nothing at all. So why are you worrying about that one buyer who might say, I don't like the condition of this card. You told me the wrong thing. I'm filing an INAD. I don't worry about them. I don't live in fear. I just sell, and sell some more. And you know what? I have minimal issues. Minimal. The most I have is a eBay standard envelope not showing. Maybe once in a while I accidentally send the wrong card. Oops, my bad. But I'm not worrying about those potential bad buyers. I worked in retail for many years, and if we worried about those potential bad buyers, we weren't making sales to the good buyers, and those are the ones you need to worry about. So really, all of this changing, adding condition, well, I think it's kind of BS. I get it. I'm just gonna go do it. You know why? I want to make some sales. I sell on eBay. They make the rules. I'm gonna go do it. If someone complains that a card wasn't as described, it wasn't the condition they thought, oops, my bad, I'm sorry. Here's your refund. I'm gonna move on, chalk it up as an L, just like we would have done in a normal retail environment. And guys, I know we're small. I know every penny counts, and that's why we worry so much about those bad buyers. But we have to remember, we're a retailer. We sell to the people. There's going to be bad ones. There's going to be good ones. Focus on the good. Focus on the people that are going to make you the profit. And just, somebody tries to screw you over, just say, oh well, here's your refund. Move on to the next, because in the end, you're going to be more profitable if you worry about the good than the bad. Guys, that's all I got to say about this issue. There might be a follow-up. I'd love to see what the comments are going to be on this one. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, make sure you hit that subscribe to any new watchers. So thank you guys. I'll catch you later.